Today on Up Front, a challenge for America's sheriff. A well-known former Milwaukee cop says he'll run against Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clarke. I'll talk to Ernell Lucas in his first television interview since joining the race. Plus, a crisis for some Wisconsin dairy farmers. They've lost a key market for their milk. Today, Ag Secretary Ben Branscell on what the state is doing to help. Plus, why are so many Democrats taking a pass on running against Governor Walker?
Covering the issues important to Wisconsin. This is Up Front with Mike Goucher.
Hello again, everyone, and welcome to Up Front. For a local law enforcement official, Milwaukee County Sheriff David Clarke enjoys an unusually high national profile. His frequent appearances on Fox News and his outspoken support of President Trump have helped earn him the title of America's Sheriff in some quarters. Clarke will be up for re-election in 2018, and he hasn't yet said whether he's running again, but he's already drawn an opponent with an interesting resume. Ernell Lucas is Chief Liaison for Security and Investigations for Major League Baseball. Before that, he spent 25 years in the Milwaukee Police Department, where he rose to the rank of captain and served with David Clarke. Ernell Lucas recently filed to run for sheriff, and he joins us now for his first television interview since getting into the race. It's good to have you on the program today.
Thank you very much, Mike.
So why are you doing this? Why are you running for sheriff?
Mike, I'm a 40-year public servant, and I've served 25 years in the Milwaukee Police Department, as you mentioned, served 15 years in Major League Baseball. I've learned a lot of experiences over those years, and I see the opportunity now to bring that experience back here to Milwaukee County. Milwaukee County can do better. Milwaukee County residents need better, and I feel I'm the person to provide that.
And you say we can do better. What are we not doing, in your opinion, well right now?
Well, Mike, some of the things that I see, the dialogue in this community, the discourse has gotten so far off track that we impugn each other in public. And my experience is I've learned that you can do a lot and accomplish a lot in the back room. And when you walk out, have some unity, some uniform presence. And I think that I can provide that type of leadership. I think when it comes to providing faith and hope to our young people in this community, I think my experiences both in the police department and at Major League Baseball can lend that to some young person that's looking in this audience right now and saying that, hey, maybe I can aspire to do what that gentleman is doing. And then when it comes to partnering with our law enforcement partners, whether it be the 19 cities and villages in Milwaukee County and or our federal partners, I feel we can do a better job in partnering with them to make Milwaukee County safe.
How would you say Sheriff Clarke is doing as the leader of the Milwaukee County Sheriff's Department?
You know, I don't sit back and judge what another man is doing. I know what I would do if I was here, Mike, and I think I can certainly do a great job in terms of, again, bringing people together, making Milwaukee County safe, and partnering with our law enforcement partners around Milwaukee County and throughout the state and to keep Milwaukee County safe.
Well, let me push back with some things you might hear in a campaign. One of them would be you've been with Major League Baseball now, as you point out, for 15 years. So the argument might be made that Ernell Lucas has been away from the day-to-day, the nitty-gritty of a major urban law enforcement agency. How would you respond to that?
Mike, I work with law enforcement agencies all around the country and, for that matter, all around the world to put on the events that we put on at Major League Baseball, whether it's our All-Star Games, whether it's the World Series, the recently completed World Baseball Classic, and a number of events. I've overseen security events at the 2009 All-Star Game, where President Obama came out through the first pitch. We also had the WBC back in '09, which I had the pleasure of overseeing, and also working on a day-to-day basis, again, with law enforcement. We have a great responsibility at Major League Baseball. We're held to a high standard, as Commissioner Seelig would always say, and that we have the responsibility to ensure the integrity of the sport. And to that extent, we have to work with law enforcement and partner with law enforcement on a day-to-day basis in order to ensure the integrity of the sport.
Sheriff Clarke has beaten back a number of challenges. He's been reelected to office a number of times. He is, as we said at the beginning of this program, a national figure in some respects. He has support from some individuals and organizations who might come to his aid in a campaign. Does any of that concern you, the fact that he has a track record of winning elections and the fact that he has support from even folks outside of the Milwaukee area?
Mike, I've gotten a lot of calls and well wishes from people in this community, people that I respect, people that I admire. And many have said, Ernell, you could be the difference. Your experience, your background, your resume, your ties to Milwaukee community, the Milwaukee community. Mike, I was born and raised here in Milwaukee County. I'm a part of this community. My home is here in Milwaukee. The church I've attended has been the same church I've attended since I was a young boy. So I have a stake in this community, and it doesn't concern me what other outside influences that another individual might have. I'm with and I'm for the people of Milwaukee County.
Would you have run regardless of whether Sheriff Clark was going to run for re-election? We don't know if he is, but would you have run regardless?
Mike, here we are 18 months out, 16 months out from an election, and I've made it known to the public and to the people of Milwaukee County that I intend to be the next sheriff of Milwaukee County. So, again, I've made it known that I have every intent to be the next sheriff, and I'm not concerned about any other individual in the race.
You've been, I think, diplomatic about what this race will be about, but would you anticipate that a race would include discussion of the sheriff's handling of the jail, the sheriff's handling of interactions with members of the public? Is that all part and parcel of a campaign to come?
Again, I've said that's all part of the dialogue that I see that's gotten a little bit off track. Again, I think we need to partner and work together and communicate better, whether it's with the Milwaukee Police Department or the other 19 cities and villages in Milwaukee County. We need to work better in terms of our leadership. I see issues in our community that I don't see being addressed the way they should be. For an example, the number of wrong-way drivers that we hear about and see in our community. And I don't hear the leadership on the issue, whether we're using technology, whether we're using enforcement strategies or other things of that nature to address the problem. And then, yes, when it comes to our jails, certainly the number of incidents that we've had in our jail would be concerning for any individual, whether it's the incumbent or someone that's intending to fill the position. So, yes, I see a number of areas where we can and we must do better for not only for the organization and the agency itself, but also the taxpayers of Milwaukee County, because, again, the failure to supervise and the failure to train our people properly results in a lot of litigation and a lot of dollars that are lost, taxpayer dollars that are lost as a result of our negligence.
Ernell Lucas is running for sheriff of Milwaukee County. We appreciate your time today. Thanks very much for being on the program.
Thank you very much, Mike.
You bet. Coming up next on Up Front, the growing list of Democrats who aren't running for governor. Our political analysts on what's keeping them out of the race. And later, Wisconsin dairy farmers caught up in an international trade dispute, what the state is doing to help keep them from losing their livelihoods. That's when Up Front continues.
Up Front with Mike Goucher, brought to you by the American Transmission Company.